What's going on, everybody? This is Chef Eric Ajapong here, excited to be cooking as culinary advisor for Bowery Farm, and we're making my favorite dish. It's a curry chickpea stew with some coconut rice. I cannot wait for you guys to try this out. We have some chickpeas, obviously, 2 sets of aromatics. We're gonna be having some beautifully diced onions right here with this bell pepper. If you don't have a green bell pepper, honestly, it doesn't really matter what color you have. We have some scotch bees, some habaneros, one of my favorite ingredients, super spicy. I'll tell you how to tailor the heat on this curry. And then the second round of aromatics that we're gonna be cooking is this garlic, this green onion over here, this fresh thyme. I actually wanna go ahead and start off with our little makeshift hot sauce. So all I'm doing simply is just kind of pulling off the stems from my habaneros over here. I'm gonna grab maybe 2 cloves of garlic, add that in there, a pinch of salt and a pinch of sugar. Then we're gonna add in about 2 ounces of balsamic white vinegar. And rather than kind of just chopping up these peppers and putting it into the curry, we're gonna actually add it in by teaspoon gradually. I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side. We don't need that for now. Anytime I'm working with anything round on my cutting board, anything that I feel like is like running around on me, so the first thing I do is try to find myself a nice kind of stable surface. I'm gonna go ahead and just remove the top and the bottom of this bell pepper. And now that this bell pepper is nice and exposed, I can go ahead and make my next incision. I'm just gonna cut straight down, put the pepper on its side, find that incision I just made, and essentially just kind of uncoil. I trim off any of that like rib that's kind of stuck inside, and then I'm just gonna cut this right in half. Like so, Get these beautiful strips. What's really more important, guys, is that everything is kind of even. So we wanna make sure that we cut everything nice and evenly. We're gonna get a beautiful dice out of this. Rock your knife, nice and gentle. Don't freak out. It's not like a bunch of cameras are right behind you. We're gonna go ahead and add this into the same pile as our onions because they will be cooking at the same rate, same time. Guys, we're ready to head into the next stage. All the mise en place is set. Let's start cooking. Our first objective, guys, we want to actually cook our coconut rice. So the first thing we're going to do is very important here. We have to rinse that rice. There's a large amount of starch, always kind of really caked up on the rice itself. So right now I have about 10 ounces of water, about 1 can of coconut milk, and then this beautifully rinsed rice that we just washed out. We want to make sure that that liquid is nice and hot, gets to a really nice point before we put the lid on. It looks like my coconut rice has finally come to a boil. Put a quick lid on that. Reduce the temperature down just a touch. I'm gonna go ahead and put my little saucepan over here on medium-high heat. Add in a little bit of oil, my onions and peppers, and really it's gonna take anywhere between 3 to 4 minutes, right? And like I said, we really want to do a due diligence and get as much of that vegetable cooked out as possible. My onion and peppers are really going off beautifully. You can start to smell the aroma, the kitchen smelling real beautiful now. So I love this dish specifically. It's one of those dishes that I remember growing up eating in the Bronx. I grew up in a very heavy and dominant like Caribbean, West African community, and curries and different types of coconut, shrimp was always being made around me, or whether I went to a friend's home or a family's home. So I really enjoyed this flavor. I was actually slated to make this dish, this specific dish, in a restaurant I was supposed to be opening up last year. I announced my restaurant on the double, March 9th, 2020, and I felt like a week later, everything just kind of like went to bed as far as COVID and everything that's kind of happened in between that. And I figured if I can't necessarily serve the people this dish in the restaurant, I might as well teach them. I remember doing a class, it was like 3 p.m. Eastern here in the States, and there was a beautiful lady from Saudi Arabia cooking at 3 a.m. the same dish. Like that's how much the food is transcended, time zones and everything like that. So I'm really grateful and happy for this dish specifically, for sure. We're gonna add in now, guys, our second round of aromatics. That's that beautiful chopped garlic that we have here. Those green onions, some of that thyme. The green onions, the garlic, the thyme aren't as structurally sturdy as the peppers and onions, and that's the reason why we didn't go ahead and add them in. We have to kind of do it in layers, right? Treat each ingredient with the respect and the love that it deserves, and watch magic happen. Add just a little bit more salt to help draw out some of that moisture. We have pretty much all of these vegetables beautifully sauteed We're gonna go ahead and add in our curry powder right now. We're also gonna add in our tomato paste. And this is just umami, right? This is just flavor on top of flavor. Once we have all that kind of cooked out, we're gonna go ahead and add in 1 more can of coconut milk. We're also gonna add in anywhere between 12 and 16 ounces of chicken stock or vegetable stock if you have that available. You can smell the coconut milk starting to lift up a little bit. Do not forget we have our hot sauce that we made earlier. This is one of those perfect moments to grab yourself your tasting spoons. And for the heat, for the habanero that we just blended up, I'm just gonna add in about a teaspoon to start for now. We can always add in a little bit more heat if we wanted to. Just let that just kind of simmer throughout just for another 30 seconds or so before we go right back into it. So this curry's been reduced down nice and beautifully, guys. We're gonna go ahead and add in our chickpeas. It's just been lightly salted. We're gonna allow the chickpeas just to get nice and warm on us. Go ahead and just check for seasoning, check for the heat. Add in just a touch, maybe about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Again, just to kind of help brighten everything up. And then we're gonna fold in those beautiful mustard frills. We are finally here. Our curry is complete. Chickpeas have been added. That beautiful mustard frill has been added as well. Our coconut rice is beautifully done. I'm ready to plate this up. Super simple. We're just gonna go ahead, get a little bit of that rice, kind of spoon it in. And then from there, you pick up some of that beautiful coconut curry. We'll add in a little bit of scallions just to help with the garnish. This is quite honestly made at least once or twice a week. So my little one loves it. Not too spicy, right amount of heat. And again, you can control all of that. Enjoy, cook, and yeah, be happy with this because I'm about to be happy with this right now. I'm going in. It's perfect. Like we have the salty, have a little bit of sweet, a little bit of sour, those aromatics that we cooked off nice and beautifully. I know it's rude to eat with my mouth open, but it's just so damn good. For the recipe, guys, please click the link below.